begins and ends with mismanagement talk, begins with who they hired as head coach. But nobody treats their players like them, has the facilities like them, is willing to spend the money to make sure everyone is the happiest. Nobody markets their organization better. Well, there's a lot there. Shannon, how much truth is there to this statement?
Not much. Skip, I'm a representative. Why wouldn't I like Jerry Jones? Because Jerry Jones going to overplay my clients. Jerry Jones going to spend money when I know my client is not worth that. Jerry Jones going to pay him just because Jerry wants him. But that's not how it works in football, Skip. On the business side, the way he's been able to grow the Cowboys, the way he's able to market the Cowboys is second to none.
Okay, well, that's the statement. That's what he's talking about, best ownership group. That's the whole idea.
No, on that side. What about the ownership group on the football side?
Okay.
Because let me ask you a question. And in the survey that says, okay, in 25 years, if Jerry Jones, how many GMs can keep their job if they're marred in mediocrity like Jerry Jones has kept his job?
That was a good question and statement, and I agree. I mean, he would have fired himself years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah, at least 20.
Exactly.
Maybe 23 years ago.
And that's the problem. They say Mike McCarthy, but who hired Mike McCarthy? A coach at Dallas, since Bill Parcells, has the job in title only.
Okay.
They're not responsible for the final 53. They're not responsible for the draft. They don't get to talk about free agency once it hits. That's not what the coach does. Mike McCarthy has that title in name only. He does not have no say over the roster. Who plays, when they play. Skip, you heard him asking? What do you think about Zeke not playing in the preseason? What, you think any other coach is asking the ownership that? No. That's my job. That's what you hired me to do. There's a reason why. When Jerry said, Skip, remember, he like, have a little beverage. Jerry said, they 500 coaches that can coach them. Well, he's gone through 400 of them and still hadn't got the results as Jimmy. He had that 1 year, but that was Jimmy's team. Jimmy had put that together.
I'll buy that.
Once they got past all of Jimmy got...
By the way, I have high respect for Barry Switzer. That was not easy what he pulled off. He almost did it twice. They got to the NFC Championship game and
94.
came within one bad call on my man Deion Sanders and your man. But whatever. The point was he did hold them together to win the next year's Super Bowl. Go ahead.
How many owners are the general manager? There's 32 teams. Now, I'm going to give you one guess. How many owners are also the general manager, the VP of operations? I just want you to tell me just how many.
Well,
one.
You know the answer.
Exactly.
And who did he learn from? The great Al Davis, who was the previous only one of those.
But Skip, because these jobs are so hard, that's why normal ownership, what do? They hire someone to do it.
Yep.
Because they're not there every day breaking down tape. They're not there every day watching film. So let me hire someone to do that so they'll know who the top guys in college are, who the top free agents are come free agency. But Jerry has the title, does none of the film breakdown study, but gets all the credit.
Yeah.
When things go well. You see what they did to ownership? Oh, Jerry will pay. Jerry has top facility skill. Phyllis ain't got... in all my years, in 14 years, I've never yelled across there, and Cortez Kenny, friend of mine, rest in peace, Tez. Skip, I ain't never say, Tez, our facility is better than yours, bro. I don't know, y'all thought y'all might be winning this game, but y'all ain't living like we live. We stay at the Four Seasons. We stay at the Ritz-Carlton. They ain't got nothing to do with it. I understand he plays his players top-notch, but sometimes he plays the wrong players. He meddles too much. Look at all the teams in the 25 years that's gone to Super Bowls, that's won multiple Super Bowls. The Patriots have won. Give it to you like this, and I'm going to turn it over to you. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the equivalent of postseason games 4, as the Cowboys has won in 25 years. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won 4 postseason games last year.
With a brand new quarterback who's 43 years old. Go ahead.
The Cowboys won 4 in 25 years. But he's a great owner. You should have said that because he's made your pockets full.
Okay. I'm going to start with the second half of this statement that shocked me and knocked me off my chair last night. The worst coach in sports? I can't go that far. Worst. Mike McCarthy is the worst coach in all of... Well, what?
No.
Okay. I did applaud the hiring of Mike McCarthy, as you well remember, because he was a made man.
Yeah.
He actually, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, he won a Super Bowl, maybe thanks to Aaron Rodgers, but he won it.
He did.
Made man. I looked last night at his record.
His record is not bad. His record is very
Green
good,
Bay,
actually.
as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers for 15 years. 15 years he was. It was kind of a quiet 15 years, but he went 125, 77, and 2. And in the playoffs, he went 10 and 8, which is respectable.
Respectable, yeah.
And now we've gone all the way to worst coach in sports. He has taken some serious, legitimate hits over what we see in Hard Knocks for his lame, forced, thoroughly unconvincing motivational speeches. It's not his forte. He is not a leader of men but by birth, you know, like just naturally born leader. He's not that guy.
No.
He used to be a great play caller. It's very possible that his claim to fame in this league was actually his ability to call plays, which he was asked to give up when he took the Dallas job because Kellen Moore was already in place and he's tied at the hip. They're very symbiotic, he and Dak Prescott.
Correct.
They love each other and they vibe off each other. Okay, I'm fine with that. But now you've taken away the one thing Mike McCarthy can do. What does that leave him? It's Puppet City, right?
Exactly.
Okay, but don't call him the worst coach in all of sport. We don't have enough show left to start talking about bad coaches in all of sports, right? Okay, now we flip it around to best ownership group in sports. And the agent goes on to say, to your point, it's the business of football, not the game of football. So what he's talking about is nobody runs the show better than Jerry, Stephen, and Jerry Jr. They're the best at it.
Yes.
They throw the most money at it. They spare no expense, and they put on the show of shows. When it comes to P.T. Barnum entertainment value, you cannot top Jerry and company.
Right.
They know how to do it. And to this point, they're always going to have 100,000 people there, so the winning and losing becomes kind of irrelevant.
Yes.
I mean, if they went 0-17, that would be relevant. But if they kind of go 8-8, 9-8, sort of, it's okay.
0-17, but the Cowboys fans say we're going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Okay, you're partially right. I mean, I've been through droughts where it got pretty, well, in fact, the reason Jerry was allowed to buy the team, they were crumbled. Rome had fallen, and it got ugly.
Correct.
It got non-competitive to the point that Jerry was able to even get his little foot on that door, the quote-unquote hick from the Arkansas sticks. How did he pull this off? And now he is by far, as one of the other agents said, he's by far the most famous owner in the history of sports. If you took a national poll and asked people in the street, name one owner in sports, whose name would pop up?
Jerry.
It would be Jerry every time because nobody knows anything but Jerry Jones, because he almost epitomizes nothing's bigger than the state of Texas. You know, like he looks like he was made to be the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
With the exception of George Steinbrenner, Al Davis, rest his soul, all the other owners chose to stay in the background. Okay, look, I've hired people to do this. Hey, y'all get my shot of me in my owner's box or wherever I'm sitting, and then you keep it moving. That's not how Jerry is, Skip. Jerry is front and center. Jerry wants to give the pregame speech. Jerry wants to be the first guy to talk afterward. But Skip, what Jerry Jones has proven, that you can build a brand without winning. That's what he's proven. Because the Cowboy brand itself, they haven't won a championship, Skip. They haven't even been to the championship game in 25 years, let alone a Super Bowl. And every year, the value of the Cowboys increase. Jerry pockets get fatter.
Okay, but here's the single most painful irony to me as a fan, and I feel held hostage by this concept. The man who says he would give anything, pay anything to win another Super Bowl is the single biggest reason they can't win another Super Bowl. And this agent sums up all his comments with, the biggest issue is that Jerry loves to be loved. He does. He was on full display last night in Hard Knocks. You got to see it in his helicopter ride where they circled his palace, his Jerry world, right? Let's circle. Let's take another look at it, right? Okay? Well, you saw it. The facilities are second to none. But here's the irony. I do disagree with your one point about nobody cares about the facilities. Well, some would, but they don't play the free agent game. They grow their own and pay their own. They play, you know, I thought this year they might go into the market and actually try to make a splash. Belichick, he won the free agent market, right? He just said, give me him, give me him, give me him. Whatever it costs, I'll just go that. Jerry doesn't like to play the free agent game. They like to pick them, grow them, and pay them. and usually, to your point, overpay them.
Skip, but here's the thing. With the exception of, I think, of the Bengals, everybody have state-of-the-art facilities. Everybody got dip tanks and whirlpools and
It may
cryo.
not be quite
it's
this,
not like
but-
to the Cowboys. No, Skip. I mean, come on now. That's over the top. I mean, that's over the top.
Yep.
But let me ask you a question. You got all those over-the-top facilities. That what you built in Frisco costs more than